in sport and the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Testing, testing. Good afternoon. Live from Swift Current, RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. My name is Rory McCusker. We've got Team Tirinzoni, Team Keiser. First end already well underway. Center guard thrown. Response by Team Tirinzoni. Means we're going to have some rocks in play this end. Gotta love that first end action. Howell for Team Tirinzoni. At age 29, quite a bit of world stage experience. And Carol and Vinya Felcher in the past. Irene Shorey now finds her way to this top Swiss team, skipped by Silvana Tirinzoni, last rock thrower Lena Patz. Briar Hurlman also joins the squad. Throwing lead was throwing last rocks on her own team. Really an impressive array of talent for Team Tirinzoni squad, who already established themselves, the back end anyway, with Alina Petz and Silvana Tirinzoni, as one of the best, if not the best, women's curling team in the world. Not that it was a weak team previously, but this is definitely a if anything, an upgrade. This front end that they have playing for them this year. On the other side, we got the relatively newer Raphaela Keiser team, who I'm not as familiar with. I assume their lineup is as listed on curlingzone.com. Each team with one loss. Team Raphaela Keiser having played 4 games so far this tournament. Team Tirinzoni 3 games so far. Team Keiser really dominating, as we can see from the stats on curlingzone.com. 11.67 points per game. That's just incredible. Incredible clip. Giving up only 3.75 points per game so far. Team Tirinzoni a little more even, 6.4 points per game and 5.6 points for against. But really, as long as the W goes up on the scoreboard, these points for and against don't really matter. Silvana Tirinzoni throwing third rocks. Has experimented with throwing 7-8 before, just with the addition of Alina Petz a few years ago, decided it would work best for them for Alina to throw rocks 7 and 8, and boy did it ever.
Welcome back, curling fans, to the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. My name is Ryan Parent, and for this game we have Tirinzoni versus Keiser.
Mr. Ryan Parent, You're usurping my intro. I've already brought the fans into the game.
Sorry.
It's this competition in the commentary booth.
My apologies. I thought I was going to be going alone, but Rory, I take it, right?
Yes, Rory McCusker. Nice to meet you, Ryan.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we got some action. A center guard thrown in the first end here. Had some rocks in play early on. A couple successful runbacks on the corner guard from both teams. Allows team Raphaela Keiser to maintain control of that corner guard setup, and they'll be drawing their second point open. Kind of daring team Tirinzoni. Hey,
Go around
I dare you to ignore these stones, but they will come up short. Leaving that center guard available for team Tirinzoni. Sink one in here, try to save the end. And where do you join us from, Mr. Ryan Parent?
I am in Calgary, Alberta, currently. How about you?
Fine curling city, Calgary. I'm in Regina, Saskatchewan. I was to be in Swift Current this weekend, producing live, but a weekend COVID diagnosis has kept me at home.
Shoot. You sound good, though.
Thank you. Yes, this will be, since 2020, my third bout, so I'm getting pretty used to it by now.
Damn. I'm sorry, but 3 COVID, eh?
No, it's we're all kind of learning to deal with expectations changing, and what can I say that hasn't already been said already? We're getting through it, just trying to keep myself healthy and not infect anyone else. But hey, the glory of digital production doesn't matter too much. We can still join these curlers and produce a game here.
Sure can. It's gonna be COVID's gonna be a common cold kind of thing, hey? It's gonna come back seasonally probably every year for foreseeable future.
It already feels worse than the cold ever was. I guess that might be stating the obvious, but
yeah, a super cold was.
Yeah.
Having it 3 times though, it must be easier every time.
Not to gross anyone out, I got it right in the first wave, that April 2020. I traveled to the United States and got something nasty. Those are before the tests. My doctor and I both think it was COVID, but it's changed quite a bit. That was a very nasty chest cough. In February, I got Omicron, which was aches and pains and that fever headache. And then this time, I just kind of feel a little off.
Okay.
Different beast. Bit of a rollout. It's going to leave this rock exposed for the team without hammer. Team Tirinzoni trying to hide their rock, force a draw to 1 for 1 here. Good 1.5 to 2 foot roll is what they'll be looking for here.
I think it's going to be hard to. It's going to be hard to roll this to a spot where there isn't a shot for 2.
You think there might be an intern port there if they overroll?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Fairly decent spot, all things considered.
Rolls it about half buried. Be a nice half-weight shot for 2 in the first end here.
Looking at the season statistics for both teams. Raphaela Keiser has played 43 competitive tour-level games so far, according to curlingzone.com. Team Tirinzoni having played 34, so about 9 less. Team Tirinzoni's record in those 34 games, 30 wins, 4 losses.
30 wins, 4 losses. Wow.
I don't care what sport you're playing, that is a fine record. Team Raphaela Keiser, also successful, 28 wins, 15 losses. With the head-to-head between these two teams, 8-1 Tirinzoni over the last 2 years. Keiser will make a good bid at taking their second victory ever from Team Tirinzoni with a score 2 in the first inning. Team Tirinzoni will have hammer when we come back.
We're for agriculture. For growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
The event curling action here. Raphaela Keiser, Silvana Tirinzoni, 2 Swiss teams duking it out. Gone are the days of the national team being the focus of the curling, or the center of the curling power, especially in these European countries, Switzerland especially, showing our depth in both their men's and women's fields, fielding multiple competitive teams every year on tour. The Canadian and American and other European teams are going to have to take notice, because that Swiss program seems to develop some very high caliber athletes, both men's and women's side.
Absolutely. There's a lot of men's teams coming over into these Alberta events and giving us trouble. They have like 3 or 4 teams ranked in the top 30 or so in the world, I think, at the moment.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. Well, if you look at world champions, especially on the women's side, you will see a lot of Swiss flags on that history, especially recently. Not just one team doing it. I think there was 3 women's teams in 10 years that won the world championships out of Switzerland. So, hey, what more can you ask for as far as depth? Still, Canada's still the undisputed king at the club curling level and the competitive circuit level, but more and more European teams finding it worth it to try and commit themselves to this game and see what kind of noise they can make on the world stage.
Yeah, European and Asian teams as well.
Of course, I should not forget about teams or countries like Japan and Korea, especially. But really, the whole Asia Pacific has taken notice. Japan medaling in 2018 Olympics. Same with Korea making the final in the women's side. Those are the types of things that get a country kind of scratching their chin and thinking, hey, maybe we should sink some time and energy into this. We're seeing the results.
Pretty standard setup in the second end here. We got corner guard with the rock underneath and a center with one underneath. Looks like Team Keiser is gonna play on that back red one. Right?
Really nice management of the curl and the weight there. Sweepers laying off of it until they saw that movement come alive. Just barely not able to hang that one on the rings. Not that that would have been super important. Flying 2 is always a good thing, but that deep back in the rings wouldn't have done too much for them. Team Tirinzoni with an opportunity to clear the house here. Clear the front of the rings, I should say, with a double from second Carol Howell.
double and stick around for a corner guard.
Control of that center line just becoming so important. It's no secret anymore. The team that controls the center line dictates the end. So without Hammer, teams have a pretty serious decision that they have to make early on. Are we going to commit ourselves to consistently replacing our center guards and our top 4-foot shots, or are we going to chase our opponent in a more traditional defensive end? And more we're seeing teams decide, hey, our best defense is a good offense here. Let's use these center guards, try to take control of that high value scoring area in the top of the rings, and just in front. We'll see this again here, although not really many more options besides a draw around the center guard here.
Absolutely, yeah. I always liked throwing up a tight center guard, even if I'm up a lot of points. It just makes it so much more difficult for the other team to get anything done. Forces them to play run backs and stuff, which they don't want to do if they're down.
Of course, and if you've had some early game success with a more kind of, I guess, quote, aggressive center guard mindset, it's a really bad feeling when you leave that behind thinking, hey, I should be smart and conservative about this and limit the damage, but then you get into the end of the end and you're looking at either an open deuce or maybe even a chance for 3 for your opponent, and you start kicking yourself going, hey, that center guard was working really good, why'd we get away from it? So I hear what you're saying. Even if you're up points, maybe some coaches or traditional wisdom might recommend you start chasing with some hit weight, but you know, if it's working for you and you've had some success with that, and your team has those draw paths really dialed, maybe it is best to keep at it, keep the pressure on.
That's what we're seeing here by this draw call.
A hit and roll available on the outside stone, but it being the even end, Tirinzoni with Hammer already down 2. They're thinking to themselves, our best chance at multiple points might be down the middle here. The hit and roll, to roll 4 feet specifically like that, it's quite difficult.
Very difficult,
Yeah. So that rock in too high value of a position, we will see a hit call here from Team Keiser. The only other option being really a freeze or a tap, but with the Tirinzoni guards so close to the rings and just such elite shot-making ability on Team Tirinzoni, Team Keiser must be thinking, hey, if they're going to make that run back 4 times out of 5. So they'll take the shot rock. Just got the weight down a little bit there, it seems. If I'm not mistaken, second rock thrower Raphaela Keiser. Sweepers Elena Matisse and Marina Lorcher. I am terrible with last names.
Same. I'm terrible with first names too. Just names in
Saskatchewan
general.
was not a very happening place when I was growing up. Most of my friends were named Smith or Brown or Jackson, or I didn't get a lot of practice making these sounds with my mouth. But hey, with the super diverse field we have in curling, I'm gonna have to get a little better.
Tirinzoni looks like probably going to try to play top 8, top 4 behind the center guard that's slightly off center line now. Maybe try to tuck just a piece of it and cover a little bit of the backbone if possible.
Yeah, it's a pure guard is probably not going to eliminate the danger from those multiple kind of angles and runbacks that Team Keiser has available to them.
Yeah.
Setting up pretty good angles, no double available. No hit and roll available too. Really good management of the angles in the house there. Team Keiser will have a tough shot to take off the top rock here. And stick around for second shot at the top of the rings. This is a big shot here. Third stone thrower, Elena Matisse. Really nice weight control here is going to allow them to keep that rock in a controlling position. I think it just rolled maybe a half rock too far though.
Yeah, they would have liked to stay on the center line side of that red rock. There wouldn't be any roll back. Still pretty good. Now Team Tirinzoni can play that roll or do the same draw they just played.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They're trying to decide right now if they need to play it. Do we need to remove this yellow stone? It is somewhat useful. It's going to provide an angle to roll into the 4-foot and get behind cover. So thinking to themselves right now, hey, if we don't take this away, they might end up utilizing this. So they will end up, looks like a soft weight hit and roll on the previously thrown Keiser rock. It's a tough thing to do, to cook up multiple points with a center guard, because you know at any point a made shot by your opponent can ruin the whole plan. Silvana Tirinzoni getting some movement out of this rock, even though it was thrown with a decent hit weight. You got to think that's right where they wanted that one.
Yeah, pretty good. I think might be able to hit that open rock and catch the back of the red one and maybe bump it out a bit. Big weight.
Do you think there's a double opportunity there? Kick the other red out the side?
I don't think they'll be able to get the red out of the house. They'll certainly be able to move it maybe into the opening between those two red guards.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps kick it out
maybe
enough
out of the 8-foot into 2.
That'd be a pretty good result as long as they didn't leave a double back.
Gotta throw it hard though here. Very flat.
Fourth rock thrower, Selena Witzschonk. And that does have some weight, like you said, Ryan. Let's get the overhead here, see how this one's able to move the second red. They will catch their own, unfortunately. Not a huge deal, but it definitely does widen the scoring area.
Yeah, and they bumped the red out into the open between those two guards, so they'll be able to hit it later if the opportunity arises. Couldn't have asked for much more to that shot, I don't think.
Maybe they're looking for a smidge more curl, avoid the slight tick on their back one, but I agree. You weren't going to get much more result than that. You can see third, Elena Mathis, that's Raphaela Keiser back there, lining up that hit through the port like you had just mentioned. Thinking to herself, if we see a perfect shot here, that might be our best bet. Up 2 points, they're not happy giving up 2, but it's a manageable situation. They'll definitely want to be careful not to get too fancy with their next shot and maybe leave an opening for 3 points for Team Tirinzoni. Team Tirinzoni kind of changing their mind which way they want to roll here. Got caught in between, and then we'll leave an open rock in the top 4. Hit and roll opportunity available, and there is a spot you can hide this where there is no shot for 2.
That rock high enough that they have a double? Or is it just going to be a roll? It's like it would probably play a double again.
As long as they kept their weight up, they might be able to kick that into the 12-foot into, basically irrelevancy. Don't have to fully remove this one as long as it gets in that blue paint. That's going to do the trick. Opposite turn, but same spot in the ice. Oh, are they throwing the out turn?
Looks like they're throwing the out turn again, yeah.
Must be adjusting for a positive release here. Really tight broom, and we'll see this pop there. Yeah, floating that rock back across the center line. Technique you see used by many competitive teams. This one's close. Magnificent.
Yeah. It's a double. Very nice. Forces a draw
Two
again.
shots at-
Four.
Two shots at a considerably high weight, or a heavy
Yeah,
weight.
she can throw it very hard.
Very controlled as well, you know. Team Keiser keeping their foot on the gas pedal here, forcing multi-time world champions Team Tirinzoni to a draw for one in the second end here. Facing four, Alina Pets. Sweepers like it. A heavy clean to start. Silvana calling the line, letting them know if it started to curl.
It's looking pretty good. Well executed
Wins
shot.
the obstacle. That'll be a draw for one. Team Tirinzoni. Raphaela Keiser, 1 point and the hammer in the third end when we come back.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed double. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, this is the center ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And like I said before, very easy to put in.
Jet Ice making these logos and these curling sheets look prettier than I've ever seen. Lots of color, really vibrant houses. Gotta love Jet Ice. We are back in the third end. A Swiss battle here in the B event at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. Team Raphaela Keiser with hammer and a 2-point lead over Team Silvana Tirinzoni. Now these two teams played in a kind of interesting format to decide the Swiss champions, where they play, I think it's a best of 5 series. Pretty sure, best of 5.
Okay.
I'm just reviewing the head-to-head matchups here. Yeah, so they played 4 times in a row in February, Swiss Curling Championships.
Were there any other teams competing?
You know what? I've started talking about something I don't fully understand, so I will come clean with my audience here. I actually don't know exactly how those Swiss Curling Championships work, but I know that there is a multiple best-of series, with Team Tirinzoni taking all but 1 game in that series. Pretty handy victories as well, 8-4, 10-4, 8-2, 8-2. With Keiser taking one of those games 5-3.
I do like having types of series where you play multiple games against the same team. Just a really curling such a unpredictable sport. One very small miss can completely change the outcome of a game. I think playing multiple games kind of secures more certainly who the better team is.
Yep, it's a good way to make sure the best come through. It also is very interesting the way that momentum can carry through game to game. You're remembering the draw you missed in the previous game. You're remembering the outturn hit that you forced your opponent to that they missed in previous games. So you're trying to take all that information from previous games and apply it to the one you're playing then. It can add pressure. It can give you confidence. It's lots of swings up and down. Hey, every other major sport has best of series playoffs. Why not curling? the same time, there's nothing like a Brier final, the kind of Super Bowl of curling, or the Scotties final as well. One game to decide it all. They both have exciting advantages.
Absolutely, yeah. Canada has, I feel like, a few too many teams to do that kind of series format.
Yeah.
Either the tournament would take 3 weeks to complete, or you'd just be excluding a lot of very strong teams. But for smaller,
very true. And
I do like.
I guess the page playoff system does give teams an opportunity to kind of fight their way back and lose that 1-2 game and fight your way back into the final to play that same team again. So there is a bit of a second chance kind of built into that. Team Keiser has been in Canada for the better part of a month now, competing nearly every weekend across the Prairie provinces.
Oh, this rock's curling a lot.
Yeah, might have been their first look at an inside-out play. It's always a little tricky when in these 3rd, 4th, 5th ends when you see a path for the first time. You know the ice is kind of broken in, but you haven't exactly seen what that one's going to do. So a bit of guesswork on everyone's part, the person holding the broom and the thrower, as well as the sweepers.
Yeah, that's a underestimated component of curling. It's just guessing. A lot of the times you have very little information on what a path's going to be like. Or I guess I should say all you have is the other games you played, possibly practices and just prior experience, but you've never actually played it in this game, making a good guess where to put the broom and what kind of weight you need to throw.
Absolutely. David Nedowin, who I've really enjoyed his commentary when you've been able to hear him, once said that curling is 8 people just intensely studying and learning for 2.5 hours, and I couldn't agree more. The team that focuses and shares information, learns the sheet, learns themselves, their own throws, the opponent's throws, all the information and observational power that you can afford will go a long way. And in those 7th and 8th ends, it's the team that has learned the sheet that very often comes out ahead. But of course, you can get tricked. You think you know something, and it's either changed or you made an execution mistake. It causes you to second guess what you thought you knew. It's a constant learn, forget, relearn kind of cycle. So, estimating a decent amount of curl there, Team Tirinzoni throws that a little high and outside. Will just barely remove the Team Keiser stone. Raphaela Keiser.
Looks like they're just going to peel it off and try to get a blanket set. I like that play.
For sure. Which in these odd ends, especially up a point, it's a good opportunity. That was the key part of sticking in the rings for Team Tirinzoni. The initiative belonging to Team Tirinzoni until that rollout. Really having to go hard on this one. They will leave that in play. So though it's not a center guard, it is still something for Team Tirinzoni to hide behind. Maybe try to manufacture a force here in the 3rd end. Howell really getting some late finish out of this stone. Leaning into her broom, really scrubbing that rock over and making a nice shot for her teammate there. That's a great sweep.
Yeah, well managed. They waited until the end. They knew they needed to get extra curls, so they waited as long as possible and then got a good finish there.
Moritz chase. Oh, not quite. Didn't quite have enough weight to remove that stone. You could see sweepers utilizing that kind of cut or slice sweeping technique, trying to get some late finish out of that hit rock.
Yeah, so now team Tirinzoni will have a chance to stick to and get a forced descent. Do what they can to not leave any doubles.
Should be pretty manageable with the distance between those rocks.
Yeah, if they roll it too far, separate the rocks too much, though, Team Keiser might just decide to go around that guard instead.
Yeah, just recognize that the force is very likely. So with Raphaela's, or I shouldn't say Raphaela's, with Selena's last two stones, try to manufacture a deuce, which I think is what we'll see here. With that peel attempt that ended up sticking in the front of the rings, you got to think for Team Keiser, they understood at that moment the force was, or sorry, the blank was no longer available. Well, very unlikely to be available.
Yeah, I mean, they still had a chance after the draw didn't quite bury all the way, but after since it didn't quite take that rock out, now it's certainly change gears, try to get a deuce. Roll underneath for a miss. Or a roll out. So if you're playing that way.
Jumps by the guard. Really brave call, and it's going to be a near perfect result.
Yeah, really good shot there.
Knew the spot and kind of dared it. Let that rock go within an inch of the guard they were trying to get around, but all confidence the whole way.
Final shot coming down. They try to tap this rock out of the house. And have to get very close to that guard. Seems like we're not getting too much curl down this.
Does this have enough weight to remove the yellow stone? They will try. Skip Silvana Tirinzoni will get it out the back.
Perfect shot.
Yeah.
Just the right weight there.
Last rock. Selena with Schunk. Not sure how many syllables there. Last stone thrower for Team Keiser. Trying to score a single here, facing two stones. Sweeper really trying to carve this one over. Will she get enough to stick around in the 12-foot? Stone really rolling off. It is going to roll too far. It will be a steal of one, I believe. Team Tirinzoni is able to tie this thing up in the third end. Keiser maintains hammer in the fourth. We come back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and supporter of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Welcome back, Fourth End Action, B event here, the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. I want to send a special shout out to our CBC Gem viewers. Thank you for choosing live curling. We're really happy to have you. Thrilled to work with CBC to bring more curling to more audiences across the country and the globe. I'm here with Ryan Parent. We're watching the Swiss Showdown between Tirinzoni and Keiser. Both high-caliber Swiss teams. Here in Swift Current, duking it out in this wonderful international field here.
Looks like they're going to play an early tick here, which I quite like. With leads that make ticks a lot, it's such a powerful shot that if you have the opportunity to play it, I really like playing it, even in these tie games like this situation.
It's a practice shot for sure. The leads that practice it end up making it. You don't want to be in like a desperation tick kind of scenario. So, well practiced shot and a really good sweep there to carve that over. They will get a little poke out of that one.
Maybe you can confirm this for me. I heard that this event, they're playing the no-tick rule, but only in the extra ends. Is that correct?
Unfortunately, I am not privy. I did hear some talk that there would be some type of no-tick rule going on this weekend. We'll have to confirm with club manager Chris Heichert. I got my coworker James Gordon typing a message. No tick and extras only. You are correct, Ryan.
Okay. I think Curling Canada just announced today, or very recently if I'm not mistaken, that they are going to be playing the no-tick rule in men's and women's championships, so the Brier and the Scotties. I expect in the next few weeks we'll have each province determining their own tick rule for their provincial championships.
Well, these rule tweaks, usually to do with guards, increasing the free guard zone. Yeah, this no-tick rule. They've been pretty successful so far. A lot of guessing and some pessimism, optimism, as with any kind of rule change, but we'll see it play out for a while, and if it's resulting in a positive effect on the entertainment factor of the game, of the parity factor of making sure that teams are able to come back in games, able to make something happen without hammer. We'll see what type of effect it has on the strategy as well. Might see teams with hammer just go for it down the middle, wait for the free guard zone to be over, and then start blasting the guards. Tip shot, not so common that it's altering the game beyond recognition, but common enough, and rule makers and teams recognizing that it has such a powerful effect on the game. Might want to try to introduce something now into before the tick gets so established that it really changes the game significantly. Makes me wonder why it wasn't attempted earlier in curling's history.
Yeah, I think the progression going slowly increasing the free guard zone rule up to 5 rocks. It's pretty unreasonable, I think, to make it 6 rocks. I don't think that'll ever happen. So I think the next logical progression was to no-tick roll.
Yes, and the free guard zone was always the intention of that rule was always to benefit the team with hammer. So an odd amount of rocks benefits the team with hammer. So yeah, I doubt we would see it go back to an even amount of rocks in the free guard zone. Like you said, try to look to tip the balance a little towards the team without hammer, and the no-tick roll seems to be the best option to do that. So
Yeah, I think the 6 rock free guard zone plus no ticks, it would just like a 5 rock free guard zone with no ticks is already plenty enough to manufacture a steal. So I couldn't ever see it going beyond that. But who knows? It's hard to predict the future.
yeah, well, we just look at the average house in a tie game scenario. Teams are playing an interesting game. Lots of taps and rolls and freezes and such. The free guard zone has done its job. It's encouraged more complex play in the rings. So I don't see a need to change the free guard zone right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice little corner freeze from Team Tirinzoni here. It's going to really centralize play in the forefoot here with a center guard and a guard kind of in the out-turn draw path. Team Tirinzoni must be feeling pretty good about the way this end is shaping up. Team Keiser looking to tap and unlock these stones. Just barely won't get the curl they were looking for. They will roll off. Eliminating that yellow stone is now available. The idea there was to maintain positioning on top of the red stone in the forefoot.
Like Silvana will be trying to roll underneath the center. And I think they're probably okay if that yellow touches the red on the way by. Where it is right now, it's a very freezable spot. I think moving it back out a little bit will probably help them.
Roll this overhead, see if they can't get a little roll inside. Nearly perfect. I bet they were looking for just a smidge more roll. It does show that centerline side of the rock for a hit and roll opportunity back for Team Keiser, but still pretty tight window and full control of the forefoot as of right now for Team Tirinzoni.
Yeah, and Team Keiser would like to hit the double, but most likely just jam on that back yellow. So play the hit and roll for now. Try to get that back yellow counted later on.
Very soft weight here. Really playing along the line of the center guard. Let's see if Super can hold it. Another perfect sweep call from Team Keiser. Just a little bit too much roll, and got to start feeling bad for Team Keiser. They've made shots like that all game nearly perfectly, but just a little bit too much roll here, a little too little roll there has left the door open for Team Tirinzoni pretty consistently. Trying to make that perfect hit and roll freeze, just elusive.
Yeah, it was pretty unlucky. They could have hit that rock a little bit thinner or a little bit thicker, and both would have been much better. They hit in the spot where they just rolled over the top.
Yes.
And Team Tirinzoni's gonna freeze another one in there. Freeze guard, you could say. The main thing is to guard their shot rock.
Last rock for third, Silvana Tirinzoni here in the fourth end. Trying to solidify a forefoot. Block the path for Team Keiser. Nice little corner freeze tap shot. That's going to more or less eliminate that yellow stone from the possibility of counting. This late in the end, it's going to take quite a bit of magic to unlock those stones, remove them, and count the orbiters. It's a great shot by Team Tirinzoni.
Turn. Wow, they're taking a lot of negative ice here, hey? Definitely throws it positively.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Really considerable. 1, 2. They will get the wrong side of the red. If anything, that makes those 2 reds even more difficult to remove. A very brave call, but something that Team Keiser decided if we were ever going to play a run back, it would be right now with our 3rd final stone. Try to clear things out of the way for our skips rocks, but now with a replaced guard here, Team Tirinzoni is going to have a very solid 4-foot positioning, undercover, looking harder and harder for Team Keiser to score their 1 point here.
Yeah, they're probably going to have to draw around that tight center guard and hope that Team Tirinzoni doesn't make that short run back on our last. It's the only way they're going to get 2. But
I agree.
if that short run back is made square, then yeah, it might be very tough to score at all.
Agreed. Very gentle release from 4th rock thrower Lena Pates. This is the lightest stone she's thrown so far. As a 4th rock thrower, it can be a little tricky to dial it back and throw a guard weight shot. And it does look like this one is sailing a little deeper than intended, but it will do the trick. It will take away the path. Team Keiser is looking at this out-turn smash. Hopefully throw enough weight and move both of those stones. Ryan, I just don't think that top red is going much of anywhere.
Yeah, can we see an overhead view on those reds? I'd like to see how close they are. Oh yeah, they're dead frozen. Okay. That red's not going anywhere. You're right about that.
Well, tech aficionado James Gordon has organized a close-up of the rings. It's a great look, James.
Yeah, I don't know how lively these rocks are, but I'd be amazed if they hit that as hard as they could if it ever got open to the other side of the house. Would have just hit near the center line probably.
The shadows appear to be touching on those two stones. It's a good sign that they're dead frozen. It's still, even still, might be the best shot for them right now, unless they think that they can clear both center guards with 1 shot. They are looking at this double peel, which would, of course, be a great result if they were able to make it. Would clear up either the in-turn or the out-turn for a shot for 1. It looks like that is what they'll settle on. This could be another run back attempt. Of course, with the run back, they might be able to get the inside of that top frozen red, thus maybe squirting it to the right instead of the left. Less rings to roll out on the right, of course. Big shot here. Trying to open up a path for her last one. Sweepers right off of this. Now, I wonder, Ryan, were they going for that run back, or do you think they're going for the double peel?
Were they? It's hard to say because they took such negative ice on the shot before that one.
Exactly. I think by the sweep call, they weren't on it till the very end. I think they were originally going for the run back and decided halfway down the ice. Yep, little plan B action. It's not going to work out very well. That's Yellowstone is still in the way. It makes a guard attempt even easier for Team Tirinzoni here.
Yeah, put it in the same spot, and Team Keiser will be forced to draw to the button on the in-turn side for their 1. I'm slightly, maybe not surprised, but I think it's an interesting call that Team Keiser didn't play the draw on Skip's first there. But I think they just have such high respect for Team Tirinzoni to make that short run back that they figure Team Tirinzoni sticks the run back perfectly, and they're gonna have a hard time getting 1. Playing the double peel / run back kind of shot, better chance of securing the one.
Well, like you said, Ryan, that was probably their better shot at getting 2 points, trying to get 1 miss out of Team Tirinzoni. Forced Tirinzoni to a tougher shot for sure. Not the wrong call, but definitely worth considering, like you mentioned. Team Tirinzoni hoping this doesn't overcurl. They may have left some kind of intern port. There is enough room for a rock to get through there. Team Keiser will have to decide what's easier for us to score our single point, a little hack weight through the port where we can use some backing, or a straight intern draw around everything. Looks like Selena is lining up the hit through the port. She has been throwing pretty consistently hits for the last few ends here. Might feel a little more comfortable with a target rather than a open draw. I shouldn't say open draw, but very difficult draw, but less variables to manage with taking advantage of backing. Of course, it makes the line that much more important.
Yeah, it becomes a shot of, are you more confident with the line or with the weight? If you're more confident with the weight, you just play the draw on the wide intern side.
Yeah.
But if they feel like they know the line really well and can make it through that hole, then there's a little bit more variance with how much weight she can throw. She'll probably try to throw back line, and she can be plus or minus 4 feet and still be making the shot.
Mm-hmm. Well, with how buried those are, this is a situation where if you're giving up 1, you're giving up 2. Those 2 Tirinzoni rocks are equal distance from the button. Whether they play a draw or whether they play a hit and roll, it's very likely either going to be a score of 1 for Team Keiser or a steal of 2 for Team Tirinzoni. One last look at this overhead and the difficult situation that faces. Fourth rock shower, Selena with chunk. Last rock, fourth end. A lot of rotation, a lot of positive momentum on that stone. Sweepers are waiting for the curl. Starting to come now. Managing this rock in. Brasher shot. Team Raphaela Keiser scores a huge point of 1 in the fourth end. Avoids a Tirinzoni run, the 4 points in a row. Takes the lead. Tirinzoni will try to respond in the fifth end with hammer when we come back.
We're for agriculture. For growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back, YouTube, Facebook, CBC Gem, wherever you're joining us from. RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown, Team Tirinzoni, Team Keiser, battling it out in the B event. Winner will earn a qualifying shot later today at 4:30 p.m. Quick rest for that team and back on the ice to play the winner of Stefania Constantini and Sayaka Yoshimura. Very tough field here this week. If those are your B semifinalists, those are all world-class teams. Swift Current doing an excellent job at getting the ice conditions and sponsorship lined up and all that hard work that it takes to put on an event. Club manager Chris Heikert, ice technician Jason Borchuk. I'll have to double check that last name. James Gordon, Mr. Jet Ice, also helping out down there at ice level. A few really top tier events in Swift Current so far this year. Swift Current becoming one of the premier clubs in the province of Saskatchewan. And why not?
Yeah, the ice conditions look really good from what I've seen so far this weekend.
The Eventplex there in Swift Current houses both the Swift Current Broncos WHL hockey team and this lovely curling facility. Probably about 4 hours from Calgary, maybe a little less.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe a little more, but something like that.
Something like that. Right on the number 1 highway between Regina, like 2 hours and 15 minutes from Regina at highway speeds, and yeah, like we said, about 4.5 from Calgary. Why not Swift Current as these teams travel across Western Canada, playing in Bonspiels? Swift Current quite centrally located when you consider a map of Edmonton, Calgary, Saskatoon, Regina, Winnipeg, and the other curling hubs in Manitoba. Swift Current attracting top-level teams these last few years into some really, really top-quality events. Our international field. We've got multiple Japanese teams. Isabella Rana from Sweden. These 2 Swiss teams. Rebecca Morrison from Stirling, Scotland. 2 Korean teams. Olympic silver medalist Youngjung Kim and Sengyun Ha. Daniela Jensch, improving every year out of Fusen, Germany. Oh, and how can I forget Michelle Yagi from Bern, Switzerland as well, playing with the veteran Irene Shorey. And, of course, some good Saski teams. This is, of course, an SCT, a WSCT event. Not sure who will be getting these Saskatchewan Curling Tour points with all these international teams filling out the bracket. But certainly some high-quality practice for these Saskatchewan teams that have made the choice to join the action here in Swift Current.
Yeah, I've read some things about like these international teams are taking over or local events, but I completely disagree with that. As an athlete myself, I think it's absolutely amazing having all these teams coming over and playing against us. We get super high level of competition. We get to improve our skills so much more playing against these strong teams. And we only have to travel like an hour or a couple hours, or maybe it's even right in our hometown to play these amazing teams. So I think it's amazing having these teams come over and play against us.
I would think anyone arguing against high quality tournament play would have the burden of proof squarely on their argument. I don't know. I have heard some comments where it seems obvious that these international teams should not be here, taking, I don't know what an opportunity to win an SCT event maybe, but like you said, hey, the best in the world coming to your club, like that's something special. There are curling clubs around the world that would just be thrilled with the opportunity to host this field. And I don't know if anyone's noticed, but the Canadian teams are made better by playing these teams more consistently. I'm not sure if it's the best practice for one team in each province to dominate head to world competition and get surprised by some very high quality teams. I don't think that is a recipe for success. I think there should be 8, 10, 12 head-to-head matchups per year between these top teams if we want the Canadian curling to kind of regain that dominance it enjoyed for so many years. Limiting the experience of the other teams is not the solution. Strengthening the experience of our teams certainly is.
Yeah, everyone everyone benefits when good teams play each other. Just improves the quality of the sport as a whole.
I think it's a good showcase for some of these Saskatchewan teams as well. You know, young Skylar Ackerman team has been played last weekend as well and held their own very well against some top quality teams. That's like, for a young team like that, just think of how much stronger that makes them. You know, skip Penny Barker, Scotty's experience, gets to kind of sharpen her skills against these top teams. Interprovincial traveling teams have always been a thing. We got Corinne Brown out of Kamloops, British Columbia. Some Manitoba teams.
My sister traveled out, played in Swift Current.
Yes.
They're knocked out already, unfortunately, but a couple teams from Alberta, I think.
And you know what? I joined Lisa on a broadcast last weekend, and she was just like you, so excited to come take part in this, learn as much as she can. I hope they had a great time. Fairly interesting house taking shape here. High center guard has allowed some angles to overlap here.
Yeah, there's a long discussion there, and I'm not too sure what to play either. Looks like are they just gonna bump that middle red one that's corner frozen a little bit, kind of remove that angle?
Choosing to rearrange these angles, not loving what they see with these red angles. A good sweep will get them into a tight position in the top 8 foot. Would have been bad news had they ticked off that top red rock, rolled out, and left a kind of stuffed double opportunity to lie 4 for Team Tirinzoni. The sweeping, keeping that rock on the inside of that line, means these yellow rocks will not be leaving the rings too easily.
Yeah, every single rock is secured by that back 4 red one, hey? So just a big line of angle corner freezes.
There could be something where if this guard was taken out of the way, if Team Tirinzoni was to smash that top yellow rock in the top 8 foot, I think both yellows would leave the rings. You probably lose the red in the back 4, but that leaves Team Tirinzoni with hammer lying 3 at the end of that shot. So you could see Alina Petz motioning at the center guard saying, hey, this is our problem right now. Shot rock belonging to Team Keiser for now.
Another discussion here.
Well, it's a very dangerous situation for Team Keiser, and Team Tirinzoni is wondering how to rearrange the situation so they can look at a way of counting their stones. Now, I would be taking the center guard off personally. With that many stones in the rings and it being very hard to remove them, I'd be pretty confident in engaging in an open end for the last half of this end. I don't know how the center guard helps Team Tirinzoni manufacture a multiple score where they're going to have pretty good control of the house by the skip stones. Not too sure what was decided on here. It looks like they're targeting that yellow stone in the top 8. Just based on the height of the broom, the depth of the broom into the upper house. Very experienced rock thrower here, Carol Howell. Knows what shot she's throwing, was part of this discussion. It's an important thing for a thrower. We'll deliver a rock that will attempt to rearrange things here. Change some angles up. Off and on sweep. Let's go to the overhead. See what happens here.
Gonna
And
catch
they will
just a small piece
just
of it.
tick.
Rolls out of the house.
Perhaps they were trying to target their own red stone to make that kick.
I think
Get
they were
that
trying to hit
shot.
the yellow. It just didn't quite curl up for them.
Yeah, I saw Lena Pets sweeping straight at the beginning. Maybe they just got a little fooled. It'll now be 2 Keiser stones in the rings, but as Team Keiser is pointing out, there might be a loaded angle, meaning that top red rock, nearly anywhere it's hit, will be cascading across the forefoot into the yellow. Perhaps a loaded double opportunity for Team Tirinzoni. So Team Keiser taking it upon themselves. We got to change this up while we still can.
Yeah, I think a small bump and roll to the center line with about back 8 weight should be pretty good here.
Yeah, reload that red stone. Determine the angle at which it's going to be tapped. If they're able to get that little inside roll, like you mentioned, that red stone is not going towards the button. It's going out towards the 8 foot. So that's the angle they'll try to achieve here. I assume.
Also considering guard, they're sitting 2, so they could just start throwing guards up.
Yeah, you could take away this side, although it gives Team Tirinzoni 4 rocks and extremely elite shot makers with those 4 rocks to change things up. It could be a little early in the end to start counting chickens. I do understand, though, I'd be tempted to throw a guard myself. Try to get out of this end with this situation that we see in front of us maintained. Now, with that ice, I think we will see about a back 4, back 8 tap weight. Good extension. Lots of positive momentum with this stone. Out to the broom. It's already curling back. Sweeper's working on this one hard.
Looking really
They
good.
will get that inside positioning. And
Pretty
I'm
much
not
just-
exactly sure what weight they were trying to throw, but I think they may have been trying to get a little bit more separation than that.
Yeah, I think they wanted to move that yellow one closer to the T line and try to roll a little bit further too, so that red has less protection. The way
Yeah.
it is now, that red's completely safe unless they. I mean, they'll be able to pick it out, but then they lose their shooters. So.
And now Team Tirinzoni, they've been working many rocks in a row here, trying to get away at that shot yellow stone on the side of the forefoot. They've been bumping, they've been rolling, they've been doing whatever they can. They're going to finally have a crack at this, raising their centerline red into the yellow, which will transfer momentum into that pile of rocks in the top right. Ideally seeing at least one yellow exit the rings and both reds remain. Silvana Tirinzoni, her second stone in this 5th end.
Yeah, if they can get close to nose, they'll be able to. That top 12 red will redirect off the yellow into the yellow at the side of the forefoot.
Trying to get some curl out of this. They're looking to contact at least half the stone. They'll get half, and that will be enough. They will not lie to, but they will regain control over the front of the rings. Team Raphaela Keiser still lying 1, still with a frozen stone in the top 8, which still helps them at this point in the end. But the clock is ticking for both teams here, for both Tirinzoni to clear the yellows out of their scoring area, and for Keiser to try and stave off this Tirinzoni attack. Make no mistake, this is a very dangerous end for Team Keiser.
Just a hit and roll under the guard, it looks like here. I think they're throwing a good bit of weight to hit the rock thick and make sure they keep their back yellow in. Don't jam on that.
Yeah, definitely want to avoid that jam. Trying to get a little inside flop here, waiting for the curl. Here it comes.
Nice shot. And
Yeah.
lines up that frozen yellow really well to make a double on those 2 reds.
Yeah, a controlling stone in the top of the 8-foot. That's going to be very difficult to remove for Team Tirinzoni. As it stands right now, Team Tirinzoni will have an open hit to lie 3 if they so choose to take it. With the positioning of that stone from Team Keiser, though, there will always be an option, whether it be a tap or a run back, a draw around, some type of overlap, some type of angle. They will have something to try and take this end away from Team Tirinzoni. Big swing brewing here in the 5th end. Tirinzoni down with hammer, trying to get a lead. At this point, the blank is more or less out of the question. Selling out for multiple points here, Team Tirinzoni. And my mistake, that was not Silvana's last stone. I was jumping the gun a bit there. This is Silvana Tirinzoni's last stone in the 5th end. Sweeper's on this really hard. This is the spot that you noticed Ryan curled really hard.
Yeah, 2 ends ago, I think Team Tirinzoni had a rock over curl in that same spot.
They did. And I think it was Silvana's as well. But it's good enough to lie 3. It's maybe a roll inside was not so beneficial there. That might have even just given Team Keiser something to freeze to or play off of. But out in the 8-foot there, counting 3, probably a pretty good scenario. Team Keiser really playing with fire.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with hitting that one on the nose, I think. Rolling under, it's hard to say if that would benefit you or hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Advantage has flipped to Team Tirinzoni through some hard work, rearranging angles. Some well-made shots along the intern side has opened up this center line angle for Team Tirinzoni. They've capitalized on their last 2. Selena Washonk trying to regain an advantage here in this 5th end. A difficult hit and roll. It's got lots of weight. Some good action will be coming here. Really taking off.
Nice
That's
shot.
a pretty darn good shot. Of course, they weren't trying to roll quite that far. There is an angle here, especially with that drag effect, for an in-turn run back for Team Tirinzoni. Should bash that top red stone into the yellow in the back of the 4-foot, completely undercover. The disadvantage there, though, is they'll only be lying 1.
Yeah, and
Team
if they hit it thin enough that touching center line yellow is going to be moving too. Looks like it potentially could move all the way across the house.
Yeah, I guess it depends if you're trying to keep your shooter in the top of the 12-foot, which at this point in the end is probably not doing much for you. Only 2 shots left to come. It might be best to, like you said, throw some big weight and try to get both of those yellows moving in the top of the 8-foot.
Looks like they're just going to throw closer to control weight, border control weight here, though. Just get to the nose and keep the shooter around.
Seems like ice for that, yes. Yeah, nice controlled hit weight slide from Alina Petz. Her first stone here in the 5th end, trying to score a bunch. She'll need 2 nice shots in a row to make it happen. Gets the angle nearly perfectly. Does not move the controlling and powerful yellow stones. Keiser will have 2 options here.
Yeah, they're going to play a tap.
You could play a tap on either side. There's only one thing that Team Keiser cannot do, and that is tick their own center guard out of the way. It will leave a shot for 4 if they make that mistake. And they will be having to play this quite close to that center guard.
Yeah, I think it might even be a shot for 5 if you hit it right in the crotch, assuming that center guard's not there. Probably get the triple. Or it's close to it, at least.
It is close to it, yeah.
Certainly for 4, though.
Might not quite have enough room to get the thin angle on that second yellow, but as long as that center guard stays in place, we won't see anything like that. If Team Keiser fails to make the rings, there might be some type of slash double down the center line to count 3. That shot to score 1 in the 4th end was a very big shot for Team Keiser. This is another big one here.
Team Keiser, last stone, will be trying to tap this yellow up. Looks like it might be more of a gentle run back kind of weight.
Mm-hmm. Slid right down the center line and twisted that rock outwards.
Maybe it is just a straight tap, actually.
Angle looks really good if they're able to coax some more distance out of this thing. They're just not quite able to get the distance to count 1. A nice shot nonetheless. I see no shot for 3 or more.
Yeah, it looks like yellow's sitting 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So probably just gonna play a draw for 1 or draw for 2 here, I would assume.
The tough double, if it's even there, would only be for 2 anyway, so
yeah,
they will decide to draw this wide out turn. Oh goodness, I've called Briar by her maiden name, Briar Schwaller. Recent marriage to Yannick Schwaller, powerful men's team. Sorry about that, Briar. Strock, 5th end, trying to score 2, wrestle the advantage back in this back and forth game between 2 Swiss heavyweights, Raphaela Keiser and Silvana Tirinzoni. Alina signaling that it's outside. They'll need to curl this one in if they want to count. Overhead going. Looks a little shy. It will be only 1 for Team Tirinzoni. This will tie the game. Raphaela Keiser with hammer, much like she started the game with, in the 6th end when we come back.
We just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed double. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, this is the Center Ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And like I said before, very easy to put in. We've had some questions about if our houses are painted or are they logo. Our events are always painted houses, but in the future coming out, I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to all logo houses. They're a great revenue source for any curling club. You can get your advertisements on there. And usually after the first year, the houses are paid for. It's all free money for you. So hopefully check Jet Ice out for your future in-house logos.
We are back. RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. A really fun game here, back and forth between Team Tirinzoni, Team Keiser. Team Keiser jumping out to an early advantage, scoring 2 in the first end, getting a force to 1 in the second. Tirinzoni responded. Good centerline control to steal a point in the third end. Raphaela Keiser facing 2 very well-placed Tirinzoni stones in the the fourth end, was able to score her single. That gave Keiser a 1-point lead. And in the fifth here, we saw Team Tirinzoni do their best. Multiple stones trying to rearrange angles, trying to gain the advantage, gain a loaded situation where they can make multiple Keiser stones go away. They were never quite able to do that, Ryan, and ended up with a little bit of a miss on a tough draw for 2. That ties us up here in the sixth end.
Yeah, that was a very interesting end with the angles set up there.
Both teams thinking that they had something going. They each thought they were just kind of one shot away from really solidifying their positioning. So that's always entertaining when both teams see potential out of the same situation.
Yeah, you just keep bumping things around until it works, the angles work out, and then you smash it and all the other teams' rocks disappear. Didn't quite happen,
That's
though.
the goal. That's the goal, yep. We've seen it happen many times.
Yeah, with that center line rock, and there's 5 rocks all the corner frozen on each other. But the center line rocks didn't play the whole game. And just never really had an opportunity to open things up.
So Team Tirinzoni recognizing the sixth end. This is their last even end to score before trying to manage the hammer in the 7th and 8th. Both teams will go hard for at least a single point here. Team Keiser, of course, would like to make that more than 1, but scoring your single in the 6th end is so analytically important. As we study the last few seasons on curlingzone.com, you can go to that homepage of curlingzone.com. There will be a menu at the top. One of those buttons is analytics. That will bring up a basic chart I think every curling fan should be very familiar with, and that's a chart showing of the last few seasons, or Jerry's got more than a few in there. Jerry's got going all the way back to 2014-15. What the likelihood of winning is as you go up a certain amount of points, with or without hammer, with a certain amount of ends remaining. So that may be a complicated way of saying, what are your chances of winning if you take a single point in the 6th end to take a 1-point lead? If you allow your opponent to steal that point and are forced to go for 2 in the 7th. If you go to an extra end, what are your chances of winning that game? I can guarantee you these skips and really all these players out on the ice are very familiar with these winning percentages. They base a lot of their strategical and tactical decision-making off this chart. So once again, curling fans, curlingzone.com, analytics. Very, very it's rudimentary information for any curling fan. Fairly interesting. I thought we would see Team Keiser make a play on the centerline guard stone there. Instead, they saw an opportunity to solidify their position along the wing with a corner guard. I think they were trying to curl a little bit more there, stick out to the wing, dare Team Tirinzoni to ignore their stone, try to use this center guard. Now Tirinzoni will get to use the center guard with no threat of an opposing stone on the wing. It is an early advantage Tirinzoni here in the 6th end.
Yeah, free draw here. After their shots made, Team Keiser is going to be looking to make sure they get their 1 this end. Of course, there's still chances. It's early. They can always get a deuce, but like you said, it's so important to score in the 6th end on a tie game.
Mm-hmm. So a tie game in the 6th end in the women's field for the 21-22 season. So last season. Teams have a 61.4% chance of winning the game with hammer in the 6th end. So that would mean Team Keiser, 61% chance. If Team Keiser was to score a single this end, that jumps to 68.2. So from 61.4 to 68.2. Not super significant, but a definite advantage. If Team Keiser is able to score 2 points in the sixth end, that jumps up to 81%. 81% of the time, a women's team will win the game, scoring 2 points in the sixth end in a tie game scenario. So every point they score in this sixth end really impacting their percentage of victory. Now, if Team Keiser was to allow a steal here in the sixth end, and Team Tirinzoni was to go up 1 point, that would rocket Team Tirinzoni's chances of winning the game from 38.6 to that 68.2. So Team Tirinzoni really has a lot to gain by stealing this end. The force, as it would traditionally be considered a pretty happy result, team without hammer, forcing their opponent. Okay, we get the hammer back. That's going to decrease their chances of winning by 8%. So that jump of nearly 30% is going to really tempt Team Tirinzoni to take a lot of chances here in order to steal a point in this sixth end with such a significant impact on their chances of winning.
That's exactly why they're electing to play freeze here rather than some sort of hit, despite the rock being mostly open.
I think earlier in the game we would have seen a chase here, a hit weight shot, but you said it, Ryan. I think that's going to inspire this freeze here if they're able to make it. It's going to look really nice. Sweepers think this one's a little hot, waiting for it to curl. Geez, that rock really came down, seemed to surprise the sweepers a little bit. They are able to drag for pretty good positioning in the top 4 button area.
Yeah, it's not quite a shot, but it's still a really good result. Still incredibly good control over the button now. And Team Keiser's going to have to peel the guard and open things up, it looks like.
Which I thought they might do a little early in the end. Definitely not as good of a look now. They will have this guard peeled, but like you said, that rock in the top button, no matter what situation, is going to be a powerful stone.
I would consider peeling this guard the other way and trying to make contact with those 2 stones. I mean, you're only going to kill your own rock, but I think that's okay in this situation. Just doing a straight peel, like they're going to replace the guard and you just haven't made any progress.
With that offset angle, I think you're saying there's less risk, right? Because even if you miss, you get the peel anyway.
Yeah.
In theory, of course, if you don't throw it inside. But with that analytical boost that we just mentioned, you'd think, yeah, Team Keiser should be very motivated to not allow Team Tirinzoni to score here. I guess I should mention what the blank would do to their chances of winning. Very little impact. It goes from 61.4% chance of winning the game to 62.9%. So the blank not really improving your chances of winning very much.
Yeah, a blank in the even end is pretty much just leads to a wash end. A blank in an odd end is generally good for the team with hammer because that takes an extra end with hammer away from your opponent. So you have one more end with hammer, assuming each team scores with hammer. But in the even end, they'll each have 1 hammer to go in the last 2 ends.
That's exactly it, Ren. That's the math. That's that simple kind of back and forth math that these teams are considering as they make these tactical decisions. A blank end doesn't itself help you win the game. It gives you a better opportunity to make a better move the next end to win the game. Blanks aren't going to win you the game, but they are going to give you the opportunity to try again next end. Funny stat here, no matter how many ends remain, 8 ends remaining, 5 ends remaining, 2 ends remaining, your chances of winning the game tied with hammer are always 60, 61, 62% in the women's field using numbers from the 2021-2022 season. So no matter how many ends remain, unless of course there's only 1 end remaining, that will spike up to 70.4%. You have a 70% chance of winning the game if it is tied in the last end. But before that, 62, 61, 61, 60, 61, 62. It's the same across the board.
Team Tirinzoni is going to throw 1 more guard here. I like this call. I think they can afford to wait a shot. It's so easy to just tap that rock up a foot. Even if there's a guard in the way, they'll be able to do it. So throw one more guard and then possibly change things up on your last stone.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to make a promotion on that stone, to lie 1, maybe even 2, if you were to get so greedy. Of course, you would never want to leave a double to let Raphaela Keiser have a shot at 2 points here. But I think we will see Team Tirinzoni with their next rock do something to try and get shot rock in that top of the button area. They have successfully tapped back that yellow stone enough to show the pin, so that is the key element there. Didn't quite curl up enough. Team Keiser might take this opportunity to shred that really well-placed stone in the top of the button.
Yeah, I think just picking a clean off is not ideal. As Team Tirinzoni will just put another one back, dead frozen this time, or at least try to. I think if they just clip their back yellow, either completely take it out or at least move it into the back of the 12-foot would be ideal. If they throw like a nice, probably boardway, they could sit 2 stones here.
Yeah, you can see them tapping their brooms along those 2 stones, kind of describing what you're saying, Ryan. If that yellow stone in the back of the button isn't really helping them at this point, it's really just a catcher for the perfect free stone that might be coming from Team Tirinzoni next.
Yeah, I think throw a board weight and just clip that back one, but still keep it in would be ideal here. Pull your shooter as far as you can. Looks like they're throwing peel weight. Just gonna lose everything and hope that Alina doesn't get her last shot buried and leaves a blank. That's what it seems like.
It's more that negative ice, Ryan.
Yeah.
Very tricky to get a read on.
Oh, or they just threw the peel.
They're okay with the peel here. A little surprising.
Yeah, I feel like they had a shot to play. There.
I think the door was left open by Team Tirinzoni by over-curling on that guard, and or under-curling, whatever they did, to leave half of that or a third of that open. So now Tirinzoni with an opportunity to really lock things up in the front of the house. And you know what? There's a shot here, Ryan, that will completely eliminate Keiser's opportunity to score.
Yeah, if they just tap it back a couple feet, there will be no shots to score.
Yeah, a little bit of a timid call there from Team Keiser. Not that I know anything more than them. That's just my armchair. Just from what I see from here, they obviously had a reason to play that. The center guard is, of course, a dangerous stone. If they were to miss, if they were to, like you said, just peel out the Tirinzoni stone, leaving the stone at the back of the button, that center guard being up would definitely hurt their chances at scoring. Team Tirinzoni would have an open draw to the button, and same difference. There would be no opportunity to score. So Team Keiser kind of saying, okay, let's see how good you can make this. Ooh, some hit weight coming here.
Yeah, I don't think I like this. This is just gonna leave a shot for 1. Like they're gonna be able to sit 2 after this, and it might be tricky to get 1. But if you just tap that rock a foot, there's absolutely nothing that Team Keiser can do, and you got your steal in 6, which is huge.
That is some sound logic, Ryan. But multi-time world champions get to do what they want. Last rock, Team Tirinzoni, they've got some kind of plan here, and they're going to show us what they have in mind. Stone is really curling, trying to hold the line here. Looks pretty nose. Ooh, perhaps they're trying to get some separation there, Ryan. That's confusing. This will open up the opportunity for a fairly routine shot for 1. It looked like they were trying to sweep that straight to get even more separation between those 2 red rocks.
Yeah, I think that's what they were calling, roll them both away.
Team Tirinzoni, knowing their opponent, very aware of the analytics that I'd mentioned, seem comfortable with a force here in the sixth end. But hey, this is all theory until Team Keiser makes this shot. Last rock, sixth end, to score a really big single point. Take a 1-point lead. Really soft weight. Another positive outward release. Very notable characteristic of this team, especially the back end. And that'll just be a clean in routine shot for one. Raphaela Keiser takes a single point in the sixth. Team Tirinzoni will try to make some noise in the seventh end when we come back.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sasktel.com/sponsorships.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next.
Welcome back. Seventh end. 1-point game. Team Tirinzoni with hammer over Raphaela Keiser, leading 4-3 in this B qualifier semifinal. B event semifinal, I think might be correct. My commentating partner Ryan Parent and I scratching our heads trying to figure out the strategical decision making in that seventh end. Team Tirinzoni basically giving Team Keiser a shot for one. Ryan, I think Tirinzoni's game plan might be to go really hard for a blank end here. Of course, a score or 2 or 3 will increase their chances of winning.
Yeah, in these kind of situations, you play the first 5 or 6 stones at the end, and see how the end's shaping up, and then you decide, okay, do we try to get a 2 here, or do we just go for a blank? There's lots of if you think you have a chance to make the blank happen with a couple of doubles, then it's really good to try.
Well, we did not.
Very messy and rocks in the house. It's not. Sometimes you just have to be like, okay, we're not going to get a blank this end. Let's try to get 2.
Yeah, and you know what? The first call by Team Tirinzoni here would indicate, yeah, they're going for a multiple score end here, not trying to tick that rock off. Throwing a bit of a guard themselves. They may have came up a little light. They could have been trying to come around that guard. Briar Schwaller throwing lead stones here. A former last rock thrower of her own.
And another center guard up.
That Team Keiser knows that a steal or a force here puts them in a very good position to win this game, so that's what they'll go for.
Yeah, no last end there. I think there's only played the safer shot. Make sure that you're definitely not going to give up 2, and also make the opponent throw against 2 is always nice. But I think they were just missed an opportunity there to try to really put the pressure on and get a steal. We'll see how this end shapes up, though. might be able to make it work. Well-positioned stone.
Mm-hmm. Although it could, Team Kaiser could be satisfied with just freezing on the nose of this. Looking at the situation after 5 stones, all of them right along that center line, some overlap, some stagger. It's all of the concepts you're looking for as a team without hammer.
Yeah, so after this stone, we'll see Silvana decide to, okay, we're going to play it messy, we're going to keep drawing in there, or they're just going to blast open the center line and take as many rocks out as possible. When you go for these kind of blinks, you have to be very determined. You have to decide, okay, pre-guard zone's up. We have to go for it now, otherwise it'll be too late. We won't get the blink. So you're going to have to make multiple doubles, possibly even a triple here or there.
Yeah, like you noticed right off the bat, Ryan, it seemed like Team Tirinzoni declared right away, no, this is our end. We want hammer. We're gonna score multiple stone. We're gonna score multiple points in this end. With this freeze call, I think that is confirmed. This is the strategy. They'll be going all out for multiple points here.
Yep, locked in now.
Sweepers like it. Getting some late finish, and that's a perfect stone. It'll get shot rock in the forefoot with backing. Team Tirinzoni takes an early advantage in this end. However, multiple center guards, overlapped guards, and no available runbacks for Team Tirinzoni means 1 or 2 well-made shots by Team Kaiser could ruin their plans, scoring multiple points in the forefoot behind center guards.
Ooh, nice shot. Squeezed by the guard.
Really had to flirt with the guard there to make this shot as good as they could. Still going to leave a bit of a staggered angle, but I don't think that there's a way into the forefoot on the intern side now. Team Kaiser successfully taking away that draw path.
Yeah, now Tirinzoni can tap up on the outturn side, but Kaiser has that tap as well on the intern side. It's hard to say
It's a
what to play now.
situation where one miss by Tirinzoni, one missed rock, one missed opportunity to lie to is going to result in some more guards and some more mess up front. Tirinzoni's really in a position now where they have to make pretty much every shot in order to maintain control of the forefoot and this end.
Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brain. I don't know what I'd play here. What do you think, Rory?
I think you have to lie to. Somehow.
So the tap, probably?
A setup shot is not going to be enough here. Team Kaiser has complete control of the intern side and center line. You have one path left. It's this outturn side. If you pass up even one opportunity, Team Kaiser will take away that outturn side, and then you're trying to make a double or a peel or a run back for the rest of the end. So I think you got to tap, lie to, and see what happens next. Team Tirinzoni already looking at rearranging these troublesome stones down the center. That would be a really specific shot, that angle tap that they're looking at here, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just
want to.
That's an interesting call. I actually kind of like that. Oh, they're
Well,
tapping it really far. Actually, never mind. I
they're
was
trying to
thinking. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, they're trying to get 2 for 1 here. Remove some guards and get some positioning in the top of the house.
Yeah, I was thinking they could also play just maybe top 12, top 8 kind of weight. Roll their shooter in front so that yellow one's not accessible, and tap the yellow into the red, and just move the red a quarter rock to the right, just so
The
that
hope here is that they're going to,
Team
yeah.
Kaiser isn't going to play on it, on that.
I think the hope here is to reopen this intern side, so they have 2 options into the forefoot. Right now they only have 1. Looks like they got this exactly where they wanted. That's going to set up some pretty good angles in the rings. It is going to open up that intern side. A smart call, Silvana Tirinzoni. And a great shot made by Carol Howell. Just want to say hi to our 294 concurrent viewers on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. I can't see the CBC numbers, but I'm sure quite a few are joining us on CBC Gem, Facebook as well. Hello, Canada. Hello, Switzerland. Hello, the world. We're really happy you joined us here on Curling Stadium Live in Swift Current, RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. Seeing in the comments here, Dave Taylor, you need stones in the house to score. Too true, Dave. So that's part of the beauty of that last shot by Tirinzoni. Not only do they rearrange guards, but they get another rock in the rings, another potential counter.
Yeah, and rolled it to a really good spot. This doesn't look like there's much of a double on those 2 reds. It's just too thin. That red goes straight sideways into the yellow.
No double without losing at least 1 yellow.
Yeah.
Perhaps even 2. After a pretty quick first 4 or 5 ends, both teams kind of just settling in the hack and throwing, just your classic 15-minute long ends. The 5th, 6th, and 7th here, lots of discussion, lots of tactical maneuvering. As things get a little more tense here, both teams feeling the pressure. The end of the game draws near, and some worthy discussion. Neither team particularly slow, as we saw from the first half of the game, but now things are getting definitely one wrong move. It's beyond the point of execution at this point. The tactical decision making will very much impact the result of this game.
Absolutely, and that was a really smart play by Team Tirinzoni there. It was looking a little bit uneasy for a second, but now I don't see anything good for Team Kaiser. They're just gonna tap that one up a little bit, tap it right to the button. If they can get it frozen, it would be nice. But there's so much control over the front of the house for Team Tirinzoni, and the angles are just so much better. So it looks like they might try to do this. Oh, maybe not. I was going to say they might be trying to play the short run back, kill that red, and maybe lose their back yellow. But then that red double should be available after clearing out those rocks.
Yeah, Team Kaiser recognizing that a frozen rock on the button in the forefoot is really the only thing that's going to get them out of this end. Eliminating reds is no longer good enough. With their 2 center guards and their opportunity here to promote a stone, They understand that their focus needs to be the 4-foot button area. Can't be concerned with the scary amount of Tirinzoni rocks accumulating in the rings at this point. Got to keep playing that centerline setup that they worked so hard earlier in the end to create. Full sweep here. Looks to be really over curling. Going for a plan B. Gonna try to kick and roll inside, get positioning for their next rock. The shooter stays in a good spot, but definitely did not do what they wanted to do with the back of the 4-foot there.
Yeah, a couple options now. My first thought was to hit that top 8 yellow, roll to the wide side behind that red corner. It'd be fine if you clipped your red on the way by and cleared out at that back 8 yellow as well.
Yep.
You could sit 4 in the house and only 1 lonely yellow, and with your red not, if you clipped the red one and moved it back to the back 4, it's a lot harder to freeze too.
Well, an end like this was always the plan for Team Tirinzoni. They knew that they wanted it messy, lots of potential. They've gotten that. They got 4 rocks left here to make the most of it. Seen in the comments here, orange yellow. Esther's absence is still a problem. Might be a problem. Well, Esther Neuenschwander, one of the most prolific seconds to ever play the game. Her and Jill Officer clear 1A, 1B in women's curling for many years. I think Carol Howell is doing a pretty good job at stepping in there, but of course, Esther Neuenschwander, yeah, one of the best to ever do it. That's the beauty of these broadcasts. Viewers at home, in your car, hey, maybe even at work. We all get to participate in this broadcast. Shout out in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know where you're watching from. That's all part of the fun for Ryan and I as well. Getting to watch this game with you guys. It's not like a television broadcast where we're speaking at you or trying to hypnotize you with any type of broadcasting magic. No, this is just a couple of curling fans watching the game we love, and we love it when you all chime in, knowing we do it for you guys. So let us know in the comments.
Another lengthy discussion, and I don't blame them. This is complicated.
Yeah, you certainly can't solve all your problems at once if you're Raphaela Keiser. It's really just a matter of making the best rock you possibly can. Now, whether that's throwing it yourself or tapping one of your own up. It seems like that magic spot is a frozen rock, just touching the tee line.
We got some comments in the chat. Kelly Snyder's watching from North Pole, Alaska.
Oh, love that.
Chris Marino for Toronto.
Yeah, I've met quite a few Alaskan curlers. It's a good community. Anchorage, Fairbanks, and beyond. Gee, there is no time clock. No. Doesn't seem to be too much of an issue for these two teams. I know these last few ends have taken quite a while, but we started the game at 12:30. We're just finishing the 7th end. It's 2 hours. It's on schedule for about 2 hours, 45 minutes. Or sorry, 2 hours, 15 minutes, I should say. That's within the realm of normal.
Yeah, an 8-end game in under 2.5 hours is, without a time clock, is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, these draws are also scheduled 4 hours apart. Gives some time in case a game goes long. Hey, Megan from Hamilton, COVID sister. We're gonna get through it. They will cash in this angle. Oh, and it works out well. It was only a matter of time until we saw those 2 rocks move.
Yeah, I think they can. I think Team Kaiser can run that yellow in though, and
Yeah, maybe. They do get to that spot, that exact area I was talking about, that frozen to the T line. Both teams were kind of scrambling to get to that position.
yeah, I think Team Kaiser just tries to get as close as they can to nose on that yellow one and hit it as hard as they can. But that's not what they're seeing. They're seeing the freeze. So you should be able to. I mean, it's depending on how lively the rocks are. You should be able to get both those reds out of the 4-foot. Sit shot. Shot and buried if your shooter sticks around in front.
Giving up 2, not the end of the world here for Team Kaiser.
That's true, yeah.
3 or more is going to hurt. 1 would be excellent. 2, not the end of the world.
A little dangerous to play that run back. If they draw here and come up white, it's going to be tricky to get a 3rd point going for Team Tirinzoni.
There's some good plan B spots to leave this stone. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sweepers have been on this, really trying to drag it for weight. Now letting it curl. They'll want to get an angle here. It's not enough for second shot, but it might do the trick in the sense that one of those red rocks is moving if this yellow is removed. I think they just barely weren't able to get enough curl out of the stone that they wanted.
Yeah, I think it might be just open enough that Team Tirinzoni can play it on the nose with back 8 weight. Just about got there, though. They just needed like 3 more inches of curl, and that'd be a very nice shot. Gotta be careful, though, playing this shot. You can't miss it on the wide side.
No, the worst case scenario would be stuffing it directly into the button area, but I think you'd have to get it quite thin to make that mistake. Tirinzoni fairly confident they can get at least 3/4 of this rock, and even if there is a little bit of spillage on their red stones, I think at the end of this they will still be lying 2 with another controlling stone in the front of the rings. Even though it was a fairly nicely made shot by Team Kaiser, when the tactical situation is this tight, when there's that little room for error, those types of shots needs to be executed perfectly in order to be effective. It's not a situation where, early in the game, early in the end, hey, get this rock, and if you roll, that's great. No, in these situations, it is all or nothing. So a 4 out of 5 shot by Team Kaiser, but that little space that they left will allow Team Tirinzoni to really put the pressure on here in the 7th end. An end that Tirinzoni chose to be their stand with that call in the 6th end, Ryan. Tirinzoni showed both their opponent and us fans, hey, we're going to make our stand in the 7th end, and here it is. Carol Howlett trying to get as much curl as she possibly can out of this stone. And she will.
Nice shot. Just enough curl there.
That's going to be a satisfying result. Now, like we said, a little bit of a roll out there is going to open the door a little bit for Team Kaiser to really put a well-positioned stone in the front of the 4-foot here. A perfect world would have seen Team Tirinzoni almost nose that stone, maintain positioning in the top of the 4-foot. That 5 or 6 inches of roll outwards is going to open the door here for Team Kaiser. Do you think there's a way to get shot rock here, Ryan?
I think they could draw through the same way they just played. That'd be my first instinct. Can you tell if Red's sitting 2 or 3 here?
Looks like just 2. Let's see if we can get that close-up overhead going. Looks like 2 red to me.
2, yeah. Yeah, I kind of like just drawing in then rather than, I think they called a hit on this one. If they nose it'll be tough to get 3, but still be a way to do it. So I kind of like drawing in a little bit more. What do you think?
It's a tough shot, but you're right. The perfect result is a draw, just top button there.
Yeah, it's a bit dangerous though. If you're a little bit wide, you might just tap them up.
Exactly. This shot more available. They've seen a few come down here. They think they know what it's going to do. They're leaving it alone for now. Wonder if this is a plan B sweep or no? They're going to get this one pretty much where they drew it up. That's the position they were going for. Not a very easy path to the forefoot for Team Tirinzoni, with both the outturn and in-turn sides blocked by Team Keiser stones. Well, we've been treated to some excellent tactical shot making and ends in the last few here. Just a really high quality game, especially in 5th, 6th, and 7th ends here. Good morning from Japan. Japan checking in on the competition. I invite everyone to join a Japanese stream, or sorry, I should say a stream featuring a Japanese team, and just watch the comment section pop off. That is a super active online curling community, and we love it. Love to see it.
Yeah, it's always fun doing commentary for Japanese games. They have such a strong fan base over there.
So supportive, and what I've noticed about the Japanese teams is on the ice, and this was really made famous by Team Fujisawa in the women's field, as Canadian audiences really got a taste of their team spirit. I forget the exact year, but it was a world championship in Swift Current here, where they made the final against Chelsea Carey. They did lose that final, but the country of Canada was really exposed to that uber positive Japanese mindset on the ice.
Nice shot here. It's the nose again.
The nose again. Little bit of a bonus getting that back rock out of the way. I mean, wasn't really doing too much, but that was the closest counting Yellowstone, so it increases the scoring area by just a little bit. Might end up being important later. Team Keiser with a decision here. They could play a guard or some type of blocking shot on the outturn side, saying to Team Tirinzoni, here, make a super hard shot for 3. Or they could tap their own stone on the in-turn side here, try and get second shot, maybe go tap on the Reds, and earn second shot, perhaps forcing Team Tirinzoni to a difficult shot for only 2. Just such a big impact on the likelihood of winning the game, depending on what happens with this shot here from Team Keiser. Sorry for the late camera switch there, folks. I was so enthralled with the shot.
Yeah. I want to say something, but I don't even know what to say. Should they play the tap, or they could do it with hit weight again? Now that Yellowstone got removed that you were talking about, the back red one will leave the house. And if they hit it across the top, they might even be able to get shot still with throwing hit weight.
Yeah, no, you're right. On that in-turn side, they would hate to leave a shot to remove the only Yellowstone, though. Like, there will be a shot for 2 almost guaranteed for Team Tirinzoni. Now, how difficult that shot is, we don't know yet, but it's going to be very tough to leave this promoted stone in the exact perfect spot where there won't be either a run back on the outturn side or a hit to return on the in-turn side.
Yeah.
Massive situation here.
He's going to do it lightweight.
Team Raphaela Keiser. Many difficult shots asked of 4th stone thrown to Selena Witschonke here. And there will be another one here in the 7th end. Many, many times the game has been in her hands. And once again, they'll need a big one from her here. Last shot for Team Keiser, 7th end. Stone is curling already. Both sweepers really going hard, trying to hold that line. They'll need at least the outside of nose. Really curling hard. It will not be enough for second shot, Rock, which was the purpose of that shot.
Curls up, hits the nose. Red's still sitting 2. So now Team Tirinzoni will have a shot for 3 here. The question is it easier to play the tap or the straight draw?
I think the tap leaves you a little more room as far as you don't have to tap it absolutely perfectly. You can send it a little right, little left, as long as your weight is perfect. That out-turn draw, you'd have to really manage the line, wouldn't you?
I agree. The tap back looks a lot nicer. There's very big margin of error for weight and line on this one. So if you're on the high side, you can go quite a bit of weight and still make the shot.
So with the decision to leave an open shot for 1 in the 6th end, Team Tirinzoni put all the marbles in the 7th end to go for a multiple point score. They're going to have that chance right here. Alina Pats, last rock, 7th end.
Sweeper trying to make it curl.
Yeah, trying to get some late movement here. Will it curl enough? Bit of an angled tap. Ooh, very close. We'll take a look. And Silvana Tirinzoni signaling at the Yellowstone. It means a score of 2 for Tirinzoni. Still puts them gives them the upper hand in this game. But hey, 1 point down with hammer. Raphaela Keiser, a chance to chip away at this 8-1 team head-to-head record they have against Tirinzoni. Only 1 win against this team. They'll try to get their 2nd in the 8th end when we come back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
We just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed double. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple of extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, this is the center ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And like I said before, very easy to put in.
Welcome back, everyone. 8th end. If you were deciding what game to watch, I think you made the right choice. Team Tirinzoni.
Last couple ends here.
Yeah, it's been a wild game. Like very, very interesting tactical decision making. Lots of made shots, really messy ends, lots of angles. Quite a bit of discussion as well in the last half of this game. These teams know each other quite well. Big opportunity for the lead of Team Keiser here. You only get so many opportunities to make a huge impact on the game as lead. It's usually in these final ends. Does well to make her first tick shot there, Marina Lortscher. Sorry, Marina.
That's an interesting call to play a tick there. The issue is they rolled in the house, which leaves a hit. It kind of seems like right off the bat, they're just going to be forced. I mean, it's very early on, but you really want to have a corner guard up, but it looks like they will play one now.
Yeah, I think the thinking is if you're going to tick one, you may as well tick the first one. sort of a modified delayed corner strategy.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, like you said, if this rock is not in the free guard zone, it's going to be an uphill battle for Team Keiser to create a multi-score end here. Of course, that would be the goal. You don't want to go into the extra end without hammer. Team Keiser working so hard to maintain advantage, maintain this hammer in the 8th end. You wouldn't want to throw it away. By missing your guard here, she makes good on that. Marina, 2 made shots. Feels good as a lead to have done your job in the 8th end.
Team Tirinzoni draw right around. Make sure they get to that spot first.
Yeah. It's the other option would be to throw another center guard, but like you said, they'll try to occupy that zone, that top 8-foot zone that they know Team Keiser will be looking to get to. Try to make Team Keiser's shots a little more difficult. This strategy does indicate, or this tactic, I should say, should indicate that Team Tirinzoni is perfectly fine leaving a shot for 1 at the end of this end, going to that extra end with hammer. You can see quite a crowd. Club manager Chris Heichert behind the glass here. All eyes on this game.
Absolutely. Yeah, like you were saying, with Tirinzoni up 1 here, they're perfectly happy to get a force and go into the extras. If it was a tie game, they would almost certainly be playing a center guard, but that's the benefit being up 1. They get a draw in first, and already looking like a really good setup to get a force here for Team Tirinzoni.
Yeah, that's a great point. A tie game, we would have seen maybe a little different strategy. Tie game, you're basically in the extra end already. Playing that all out, got a steal strategy. With one, almost corner guard. This is about a 4-foot line guard. Team Keiser will have something to play with. Some obstacle, overlap, angle to work with. Try and manufacture 2 points here. Like you said, Team Tirinzoni occupying the important area of the rings. They'll have to first tap this rock back in order to gain access. Really nice sweep there to get the freeze tap. I just want to take this opportunity to shout out the ice crew all-star lineup. You got Jason Bratton and then also Darren Grass in from the Highland in Regina, together with club manager Chris Heichert and James Gordon, really building a strong reputation for themselves here in Swift Current as some of the best ice in the province, one of the best tournament destinations in Saskatchewan and really Western Canada.
Might just take a quick moment here to update the scores of the other games going on now. Team Yoshimura from Japan versus Team Constantini from Italy. Yoshimura won 6-2 in 7 ends.
So that will be the opponent of the winner of this game in the B qualifier at 4:30.
Here we go. So we will have a Japanese-Switzerland game. And the Japan fans are waking up, so they'll be around to watch that one.
Beautiful.
Abby Ackland won 6-5 in the extra end over Isabella Rana. Yunjin Kim won 7-3 over Beth Peterson. Skylar Ackerman's up 6-4 with hammer over Sungyeon Ha. And Penny Barker defeats Ashley Howard 7-1.
That's a Sask team to have your eye on, that Skylar Ackerman team. Really strong showing last weekend, and as you said, with control in that game. Team Keiser has their stone in that wing position, but it's going to take some work to make the magic happen in order to count that one.
Yeah, 2 shots back, Team Tirinzoni made a good call, made sure that when they drew behind the guard, they kept it top 8, so that when Team Keiser comes down on top, they're only sitting the second shot or they're sitting third shot rather than second, as that side red rock is out counting it.
Trying to make these angles work on that Carol Howell stone that was just thrown. We'll try to go bang, 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 leaving 2 yellow stones and removing 2 red ones. Bang 1, bang 2. Little thin, they will lose their shooter, although that may have been the plan. Forces Team Tirinzoni to address this stone in the forefoot, which will, unless a perfect roll is made, open up an opportunity to use that corner guard. Finally, trading hits back and forth, hits and guards, I should say, with Team Tirinzoni. The way to counter that is to occupy the right side of the forefoot.
Yeah, the red guard is slightly closer to the center line than the yellow guard, or the red one's in the 12-foot, I suppose. So if this hit and roll's been made, I expect Keiser will try to make a double and roll across.
That's it.
Depending on how the angles line up.
That sounds about right. So first, the hit and roll. Pretty critical to stay in a scoring position here. Even if you leave your rock open, it will force Team Keiser to address it. Looks like they will get a little flop here. Ooh. Almost perfect, but they do leave most of the stone available for a hit and roll back.
I think that's even better than rolling dead buried, as there's no double and roll now. They have to just hit the back one.
It forces Keiser to play the stone.
Yeah,
and like you said, yeah. Go ahead.
If maybe ideally Team Tirinzoni gets at maybe 2/3 buried or so, but a quarter buried or an eighth buried is pretty good.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah, I think I agree. Trying hard to manage the curl on this one. Very important to stick around in the rings. Just a little more weight means a little more action on that roll, and they will roll all the way into the 12-foot. A moderately valuable stone still, but it is going to allow Team Tirinzoni to dictate their own shot. They will choose to ignore that yellow stone, instead occupying that very valuable top 8-foot area.
Yeah, I think this is a smart call going around the guard. You can't just hit the yellow, because even though you sit 3, now Team Keiser gets to play around the guard for free, so can't allow that to happen. Have to beat them there again. Important to keep this rock top 8 again, for reasons I outlined earlier, to make sure Team Keiser can't come down to it and sit second shot.
Perhaps just a hair deep, but that's going to do the trick. May have come deep enough that there might be a corner tap there. Yeah, like looking at that one again. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they're looking to tap back and try to sit shot. They could just straight freeze it and sit second and possibly make a play on it later, but I think both shots would be good for them.
Ideal may have been about a foot higher, where it would have required a bit more work to tap the Tirinzoni stone in order to get shot rock. Now, Team Keiser is going to be able to move that one just a little bit, get shot rock and some backing. A shot that would have taken 2 rocks to accomplish had that stone been a little higher in the rings. You can see the signaled about back button, back 4 weight. Team Keiser will have to make one of these throws more or less perfectly in order to wrestle control back of this end that has been mostly Team Tirinzoni dictating the play here in the 8th. A piece. Third rock thrower for Team Keiser. Tries to make tap freeze around the guard. Line's looking really good. Just a little too much weight. It's going to roll off. Still somewhat beneficial where they punched that red stone, but the roll is going to leave them very exposed.
Yeah, and Team Tirinzoni's going to just roll a little bit away from that yellow corner. And then Team Keiser is going to have to make some sort of hit and roll. It won't be easy. Possibly underneath the red corner, possibly underneath the yellow.
First rock for Alina Pets without hammer here in the 8th end.
Makes the nose hit.
Yeah, leaves a pretty easy flop opportunity here for Team Keiser. You'd think that they were trying to get a little further away from that corner guard.
Yeah, ideally they rolled it a little bit away, make the roll harder. Can't roll too far though either, otherwise Team Keiser could just split a straight draw. So nose hits the safe way to play it.
Or any deeper in the rings, and Keiser might tap freeze the shot rock there.
Mm-hmm. Big shot here.
Definitely. For a realistic shot at scoring 2, Team Keiser will try to make this hit and roll, make it difficult to remove the shot stone. Fourth rock throwers, first rock in this 8th end.
On them.
Hit, flop, and they will remain shot rock, I believe.
Wow.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah, if they're shot, that was absolutely perfect.
Looks like it.
They are, yeah. What a shot. That shot's so good it almost secures them too.
Well, it almost secures them a shot at 2. I mean, with the inward facing angle, there's no way to punch that yellow stone out of the 8-foot the short way. They are looking at throwing an intern, like big weight shot to try and punch it through the rings the opposite way. But it looks like Alina Pats will try to make a freeze of her own. Even that shot won't guarantee an extra end or a shot for 1. If they leave anything exposed, Keiser might be able to play some weight and remove both reds, but you can see with the overlap of the center guard there's a lot of room to make this draw, and the key will be to get shot rock. Alina Pats, very experienced, many big shots in her career. Here's another one. Last stone, Team Tirinzoni, 8th end. Sweepers more or less off this rock.
Going now. Just waiting for it to curl, and that's coming in.
Working hard to get shot stone here. They'll have to drag it. They will get shot rock. They will not get the backing that they were looking for, but that will be mostly buried shot stone. Not a bad result at all. Keeps the game alive. Team Tirinzoni.
Now Team Keiser is going to decide if they see enough of it to play with soft weight, which I think they'll probably end up doing. They also have the option of playing the run back, but I feel like right here it's much easier to play the soft weight tap for 2.
Yeah, as long as you hit about half a rock, that should do the trick. Any thinner than that, it might bounce off their own yellow, which would be no good. But, you know, as long as you throw the right weight, you're probably going to make a shot for 1 and keep the game alive. Just a closer look at that angle they're working with. A thick half of this rock should do the trick. Well, it's been a thrilling game so far. Will we see a nice shot for 2 in the victory? Will we see a half shot made to force extra ends? Or will Team Tirinzoni steal this game? Those are the results that await us with this last rock, 8th end. Team Keiser trying to get their 2nd ever victory against Team Tirinzoni. There's that trademark positive release. Sweepers on it hard, and you can see the emotion from Selena. Just a little soft and inside on that one. What a thrilling game. Team Tirinzoni steals a point to take the win 6-4. That's going to be one to watch back. As a coach, as a developing player, a lot to learn from that game, Ryan.
Yeah, it was a great game. Thanks for having me, Rory. That was awesome to watch and good to commentate with you.
Oh, yeah, tons of fun.
Team Tirinzoni is going to go on to play Team Yoshimura in the B qualifier later today. So be sure to catch that one.
Yeah, 4:30 start time scheduled for that game, along with many other games on the ice. So stick with us. RBC Dominion, Securities Western Showdown rolls on. Tirinzoni over Keiser, 6-4.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.